Alright, so physician-assisted suicide removes hope from any situation and effort should be put towards relieving pain. PAS also devalues life, and as a society we need to regard life as one of the most important values. Every suicide, and especially an assisted suicide, represents a failure of the human community to affirm the value of a person's life. My opponents claim that people who are terminally ill should not be forced to suffer unbearable pain is false, because advances in pain management assure that all pain can be managed by using commonly available medications and or a combination of approaches, such as radiation therapy, nerve block, and physical therapy. The problem is that not all patients are given effective treatment for pain. Voters should demand that physicians learn how to effectively kill pain, not effectively kill patients. Another example is that Oregon's law does not require that a patient be in pain or even suffering to be given a prescription for lethal drugs. In fact, doctors who have assisted suicides report that most patients do not seek PAS because of pain, but because they fear being a burden, being unable to engage in enjoyable activities and other non-pain related concerns. It was determined in the opinion of Govia versus the Superior Court that the right to die is an integral part of our right to control our own destiny so long as the rights of others are not affected. This was a matter of patient autonomy. PAS is not a completely autonomous act. It requires the assistance of another person. PAS threatens our society by cheapening the value of human life. Society has a responsibility to preserve the sanctity of life, so an individual's choice of PAS should be overruled for the overall good. The law's safeguards do not provide any real protection for patients. In 2006, British palliative care expert Dr. David Jeffrey, during the course of conducting research, uncovered a number of disturbing unreported PAS cases in Oregon. An example was that a patient was told by his doctor, "You have ALS, which is Lou Gehrig's disease. This is awful. You should consider PAS." The patient was devastated. This shows that how voluntary is assisted suicide when you are not offered hope or other options. The law also requires that the patient have a terminal disease that is expected to produce death within 6 months. The problem is that predictions of life expectancy are highly unreliable. It's possible for a patient to live longer than 6 months if that patient did not take the pills. The argument that the practice of PAS has turned into a safe, conservative practice is also false. Oregon's annual PAS reports do not prove that abuses have not occurred. They are based solely on reports by the doctors who prescribe the lethal drugs. The law gives no authorization to investigate unreported cases or cases of abuse and contains no penalties for doctors who do not comply with the law. Doctors who violate the law are not likely to tell on themselves. PAS removes hope from a situation. It is possible that families as well as doctors would opt for physician-assisted suicide in cases where the chances of recovery have not become negligible. People may want to cut costs. Doctors may make recommendations that are not in the best interest of the patients. Effectively, one may give up hope. And lastly, PAS is a slippery slope to legalized murder. Assisted suicide is a halfway house, a stop on the way to other forms of direct euthanasia. For example, an incompetent patients by advance directive or suicide in the elderly. So too is voluntary euthanasia, a halfway house to involuntary and non-voluntary euthanasia. If terminating life is a benefit, the reasoning goes, why should euthanasia, or why should PAS be limited only to those who can give consent? Why need we ask for consent?